Batgirl is a DCEU film that was not released for very poor reasons. Even if the company didn't really care about it, there's not really a good reason they don't just dump it on HBO Max. Kind of like another female-led superhero film that was just carelessly dumped on a streaming platform. But you know the drill, as always, what if I did it? I'm going to write it to be in line with my DCEU rewrites, but it's not going to be super necessary. And anyone unfamiliar with my other videos could just watch this one by itself. This is Batgirl, how I would do it. Sort of inspired by Batgirl Year 1. And our main character is Barbara Gordon, the daughter of Jim Gordon. They live together without Barbara's mom. And inspired by Batman and the formation of the Justice League, she became Batgirl. She's got a bestie named Stephanie Brown who becomes the Spoiler. And they call her that because her dad is known as the Clue Master, who used to work for the Riddler until both of them were locked up by Batman and Jason Todd. And we quickly recap this, and we head straight to graduation day. Seeing some familiar faces as Barbara is going to college, ironically with some of those familiar faces. Her and Stephanie are moving in together with their other bestie, Alyssa, and they're helping move, and Jim is excited that his daughter is becoming an adult. If only your mother was here to see. And Barbara's like, Dad, Mom's not dead. And Jim's like, oh, I know. I just wish you would start calling Sarah your new mom. And Sarah arrives, and she's Jim's new wife. And Barb's kind of whatever around her. And Jim tries making some connection, oh, come on, I bet Sarah and Alyssa have a lot in common. And Barb's like, Dad, shut up, you're old. Not everyone like the same things. So now Barb's independent, and we get a montage of her doing young adult things, stopping crime, doing young adult things, having fun, stopping repeat offenders, getting coffee, stopping more crime, attending college. This comes to a head when she's investigating the up-and-coming rapper, Riot Black, who's a total douchebag, especially when Barbara crashes the set to expose him for stealing personal data. He's like, whatever, bring it on, hashtag bitch. And they fight. He's kind of a pushover, but it turns out he has a bionic eye that has access to the internet, and he can continue his scheme. So he sticks one of his bodyguards, Killer Moth, on her. But Barbara says he'll send him a pic of her face if he just agrees to stop. So he does, but it turns out she has a QR code. So when Riot Black scans it, turns out to be a virus. He got a reverse card. She fights Killer Moth a bit more, and he tries tossing his helmet at her, but it doesn't really do anything, so he escapes. A Spoiler shows up fashionably late, and we get some perspective about Killer Moth, and it turns out he's a gun for hire who tried being hired by the crime families before, what happened.
Heard the legendary Penguin was recruiting. I'm here to throw in.
He got tossed out, and now he's a gun for hire for some small potatoes like Clock King and Riot Black. He mostly does it so he can afford his daughter, Michelle, who turns out to be Carrie Kelly's friend. And there's some parallels, Barb wants to take on some real crime instead of just small potatoes. And Killer Moth also wants to get into the big leagues, so he tries going solo. He hires 3 guys and gets a warehouse, a van, and the warehouse gets foreclosed on. So the henchmen just steal his van and drive off, leaving him out in the rain. So he hits the bar and starts yelling to anyone who will listen.
It's time for a change in my modus operandi. They don't see me as an equal, and I'll show Batman and Robin and that smirking Batgirl.
Did you say Bat?
Turns out the guy who's listening is Firefly from my Batman v Superman rewrite, and he's Brandon Fraser and all burned up and wanting revenge on the Bat and the Robin.
First, I need cash.
Then This Girl Is on Fire starts playing ironically in the background.
Tony Bressy,
I thought I threw you out on your butt.
I offered you a deal. Now I'm taking a cut.
You're taken. You got guts, Butterfly.
I got guts, all right. And a partner. He's Firefly. Kill the music. No! Too much!
Moth says you were only supposed to scare him, not torch the whole building. What's wrong with you? The deal's off. He's not going to pay us now. And Firefly says, we're partners. This is fine. You want to scare him? This is how we do it. You're willing to take revenge on everyone who wronged you? This is how we do it, partner. Now come on. Then later, all the Gotham City PD are investigating, and Barbara tries investigating with them, but Jim turns them away. As Carrie's walking away, she comes across Black Canary, and she's upset that her house burned down because of the strip club burning down. So Barb allows her to stay with the girls. Canary tries helping everyone by sending them to someone she knows. The Question, the best detective in town, next to Batman. We also get a cameo from Huntress, and they're like totally a thing. The Question helps them figure out that Firefly might be behind this. He used to be a mercenary for hire who had a penchant for fire. Now it seems he escaped the quite bad prison system of Gotham, and now he's out for revenge. The Question and Huntress would help, but they're also in the middle of doing some investigation about Gigi Godfrey, a conspiracy reporter that The Question used to like, but he started realizing a pattern, especially recently. He used to talk about aliens a lot, but especially recently he's been talking about them. Huntress thinks that's just a coincidence, but The Question knows there has to be some explanation. You know, like Amazing Godfrey turns out to be an ancient god from another planet who's trying to preempt the invasion from another eviler, bigger, dark alien god with gray skin. We'll throw in all the alien hate and paranoia onto the Justice League so people will be too distracted to notice the alien invasion. Huntress is like, sometimes I wonder why I even love you. So Steph and Barb are on the scene. Meanwhile, the GDPD headquarters, they're a lot slower to realize that's Firefly. Maybe because of them being short-staffed from what that crazy clown did to Half the Force. But they find out just as the bugs start attacking. And the girls help out. Canary shows up fashionably late to save Barb from getting toasted. Barb helps out her dad, trying to keep her identity a secret. And chase after her bugs, but Canary's bike gets torched, so he has to ride on the back of Barb's bike. As the bugs are in a van and they cycle through the radio as Girl on Fire plays, but they switch to Burning in the Third Degree. It's an epic chase with Moth driving and Firefly complaining that his wings were only for show, not for flight like his were, as he shoots fire from the back. But Barb uses one of her batarangs to close the back door, shutting the fire into their face, and they cause a crash and explode in fire, seemingly killing them. The girls celebrate, but Alyssa realizes they're all superheroes and says she wants in to be their Oracle. So we're going to have Oracle, but also Barb being Batgirl, with Alyssa being their tech person. Barb goes to college and does something with Dante's Inferno or something. Later, she's out on patrol and hears a scream, but it turns out just to be Michelle and her friends watching a scary movie. She makes no note of this and heads out. Just as ironically, Killer Moth comes in to stop them from being so loud. He tries yelling at Firefly that he's getting into more trouble than he asked for because of all of this and him, but Firefly intimidates him too much to stop now. Then later, Oracle's doing her thing, and she finds out there's going to be a dealing happening. So the girls suit up, and even Oracle wants to head out this time. They don't know if she's going to be that effective, but she has a weapon. We see Riot Black and Clock King with a couple of douchebags, and they found the Riddler stash of red kryptonite. And they're going to get rich off of this stuff. As the girls are sneaking around, but oh no, the bugs are still alive and torched a building with them inside. Moth keeps yelling that this is far too much, but Firefly says this isn't far enough, as he blasts one of the police with fire, killing him. Moth sneaks off to actually go rescue the guys, but then they find the girls, and he starts attacking. But he runs out of ammo. So Alyssa just knocks him over, right into a box of the red kryptonite, and he inhales it, and he starts mutating into an actual moth monster. He eventually joins the big brawl on the roof with Firefly against him, with Moth yelling about his mistreatment and just wanting to be respected. And Firefly takes off his mask and he's hilariously not burned around the face, unlike the rest of his body, and he starts yelling at Moth that he's worthless. They continue fighting, and Moth and Firefly start flying off, with Moth tearing up his jetpack. The Firefly knocks him away as he's struggling to stay up, and he tries hitting him with the Firefly. And then suddenly Huntress appears and shoots Firefly in the arm, so he can't use his flamethrower, and he starts spiraling down, crashing into a cop car. Moth lands back on the roof, and the girls decide just to let him go for helping them. He heads back home, and Michelle's kind of upset that he's a big Moth person now. And later, the girls are celebrating that Barb is now in the big leagues. She's even better than Batman. As she says that she gets bumped into by some familiar-ish looking person who says that his name is Matches Malone. He hands her a thing and walks off. Barbara opens the envelope and finds a bunch of invitations with Justice League logos on them. Then, the end credits are set to Blue Oyster Club's Burning for You. And our post credits is Alfred trying to teach Cassandra Cain how to read and talk because she was never taught to. And she's not doing too well, even with something as basic as it was. But that's how I would do it, I guess. But what do you guys think? You like my ideas? Do you have any better ideas for Batgirl? Let me know in the comments below. And when you're down there, make sure to smash the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new.